Welcome back to Cruising with the Mayor. We are in May, which is crazy that it's warming up. It's like 90 degrees out right now.
It is 90 degrees.
I'm sweating a little bit. I'm sweating out. That's perfect for a golf cart though. Perfect for a golf cart.
Yes.
But we want to apologize. This is coming out a few days after council meeting. We had just some scheduling conflicts. We had the groundbreaking for the Somerville Public Safety Campus. And so we've been busy, but we never forget. So we are back. How you doing today, Mr. Mayor?
I'm doing great. Excited to speak to you guys today. Going back to the public safety groundbreaking.
Yeah.
What a great event.
Wasn't
We
it?
had a huge turnout and such an awesome day.
It was.
Kicking
Beautiful.
off a much needed project.
Yeah.
So very excited about that.
Great turnout. It was, you guys, great speaking and great information shared, but also just a nice way to celebrate one of the biggest projects in town history.
Yeah.
And it's really exciting, and who deserves it more than the men and women that serve us and put their life on the line for us here in Somerville. So
Yeah, absolutely.
it was definitely an awesome event. But let's circle back to council. Council was a few days ago, so let's circle back the clock a little bit here.
Yes.
So first of all, we had Tyler Pisano, who's with our IT department. He received your employee recognition for the month of May. Do you want to talk a little bit about Tyler and just our IT department as a whole?
Well, I will start off by saying you could tell Tyler did not want to be recognized.
Yeah, no.
He does a fantastic job for the town. You know, IT professionals are usually behind the scenes folks, but when you need their help, and they're always there.
Yeah.
And Tyler exemplifies excellence in carrying out his work. We spoke a little bit about, our cybersecurity breach that occurred, year and a half ago now?
Yeah.
Year and a half ago, and
We survived.
We've added some IT professionals and
Yeah.
really hardened our system and
Yep.
put some new procedures in place, and he's been a instrumental part in taking us to the next level. So Tyler, thanks for serving the town with excellence. We appreciate what you do.
Yes, Tyler, thank you so much for everything you do. You're an awesome employee. You do so many incredible things for keeping us safe, especially from a cyber standpoint. And shout out to our whole IT team for everything that you do. We took a situation like the cyber attack and grew from it and made the town stronger.
Yes.
And I love that. I love that. We also celebrated Building Safety Month. We proclaimed the month of May as Building Safety Month. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Well, being an engineer, I love recognizing the folks who make sure that we're safe each and every day.
Yeah.
You rarely walk in a building and think that the roof or the floor is going to fall in.
Yeah.
You rarely do that. Just like if you drive over a bridge, you don't slam on brakes saying, no, the bridge may fall down.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
because there's a group of professionals who are following a very high standard to
Yep.
make sure that our public spaces are safe for those who use them. We have one of the best building departments around.
Yeah, we do.
I get compliments on Miss Rebecca Brown and her team
Yep.
all the time. So we just had an opportunity to recognize them and say thank you for what you do for the citizens of Somerville.
Absolutely. Shout out to our building department and everything you do. Because you're right. When we're walking around on a second floor in our home, we don't really think about, we're going to fall through. Sometimes you might, like if you're walking, you feel like a little divot, then you realize there's a water leak somewhere or something. But no, it's shout out to all the hardworking folks in not just our building department, but all building departments throughout the state and throughout our region. Shout out to y'all. It's a hard job.
It is.
It's a hard job. So let's dig into the meeting a little bit further. Some of the decisions the council made. First, I want to talk about it was King Charles
Yes.
and Loudon. There was the annexation regarding the church.
Correct. It was an annexation request, and with any annexation comes a zoning request, and the zoning that was brought in with the annexation was a multifamily, and it has really sparked a lot of attention and concern from community members in the Newington community, which I understand. Unfortunately, on Thursday, we had a crowd stack in very early.
Yeah.
Of course, we've received a lot of email comments, a lot of written comments, We also, this was the second and final reading in front of council.
Okay.
But we had first reading in April, and there was a planning commission public hearing and meeting as well. So this has had a lot of opportunity to be discussed, and there has been a lot of discussion.
Yeah.
Not everybody who wanted to address the meeting publicly was able to, because the fire marshal actually had to shut the doors because we got over capacity.
We did.
But we want you to know you can see the video on live stream. You know, that's one of the good things about our town, is everything is accessible and transparent. And of course, every written comment and every previous comment's always considered by council when decisions are being made.
Yep.
I will say that the HOA president, Mr. Larry Collette, spoke about an agreement somewhat being reached between the church and the community. Church leadership came up later and said, you know, that in spirit there was an agreement. However, as you know, with any organization, that they can't finalize it until they have a vote of the congregation.
Exactly.
Kind of like, you know, council. But it really sounded positive. You know, I didn't hear anybody speak negatively about the church itself.
No,
which it's Somerville Methodist
about the
Church.
zoning and
It was
worries.
the zoning, the
Yeah.
concerns that if the church left, this zoning designation would create a risk for the community. Sounds like the agreement between the two entities includes what I would call a reasonable deed restriction.
Yep.
And first right of refusal.
Yep.
For purchase by the community. So a lot of those things sounded really positive. At the end of the day, council voted to approve the annexation request and the rezoning request at multifamily. The multifamily zoning, when you got into the details, some of the church leadership was mentioning that the height requirements, the setback requirements, and the lot coverage requirements were actually more favorable in that zoning and would help the church be able to do exactly what they want to do and grow on that site. So anyway, it was approved by council. It was not unanimous. And there was a lot of feedback generated over the last 3 months.
Yeah.
And I want to just point out something we talked about. Even with all the differing opinions about what zoning should go there, our folks were really respectful when they addressed each other, and I'm just grateful for that. I'm grateful for that's what makes me proud about our community.
For sure.
Because we don't always agree, but we treat each other with respect, and that's what makes our town so special.
That's what it's all about, right? We're all going to have different opinions on so many different topics in our lives, and you know, opinions within our families and with our communities and within our churches. So many. Everyone has a different opinion. We're human, right? But if we can talk and discuss and just be respectful when it comes to just expressing our opinions, that's what it's all about, and that's what Somerville's about. You see it firsthand when it comes to situations regarding like this. You know, opinions are heard, but it is respectful. It's not, disrespectful. And shout out to the community for that. Shout out to our Somerville people for that, because that's what makes us special. We don't see that everywhere.
No,
you don't see that everywhere. No. It's actually very rare. So we have it here, so we need to cherish that. We need to cherish that. So, and shout out to everyone who does speak up.
Yeah.
We love that. We love that. So in the future, keep speaking up.
Yes.
We love that. That's how our council and decision makers, not even just at the town, but in the counties and anywhere else, can hear your concerns and actually make those changes. Because if they don't know, how can they make those changes?
Right.
Right. Yeah. And so I'm off my my soapbox there a little bit. But that said, we also Magnolia Street. There was a conversation about that as well. You want to touch base on that real quick?
Yes, there was a rezoning request on Magnolia Street, right by the railroad tracks. Purchaser of the property was looking to do a law office there.
Yeah.
And needed a different zoning because they weren't going to be able to live there. If they were owner occupied, they would be able to put a law office there.
Yeah.
But because they're not living there, they have a different house. It's not something that they could do with the zoning, so they're trying to request a different zoning. what's interesting is with this zoning request, I think a lot of the people, the neighbors who were concerned, expressed a concern with the zoning, but not the use really.
Yeah.
Not that specific use. So that I found that interesting. It was first reading of this request. It had already gone to the Planning Commission. It did pass first reading. It was not unanimous, but it did pass first reading of the rezoning request, and we'll be discussing that in the month to come.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think there was a lot of feedback on all sides of that discussion as well. But in our historic district, preservation of our beautiful historic structures, it requires investment.
Yeah, it
And,
does.
not everybody can do what sometimes businesses can do.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to be quick to discredit a use that people are okay with. We may just have to find different ways to do that so that our historic district can be preserved and protected.
I agree. I agree.
And we don't want unintended consequences to negatively affect the neighbors who live there.
Exactly.
So we have to think of both sides.
Exactly.
It's very important.
Well, I completely agree, and there's another month of conversation. And so if you have any thoughts, opinions, or anything like that, as always, send them in, send an email, come to a council meeting, express everything you want to express because we want to hear it, okay? And so, shout out to, again, our community who is not afraid to speak up because we love that. We love that. We push for that. Well, that's it, Mr. Mayor. Outside of that, I think those are the big topics of our council meeting. Just a couple things real quick. As we get into the summer months, if y'all haven't seen, we have a new playground at Doty Park, or upgraded playground, I shall say. It is absolutely beautiful. I have been taking my kids out there left and right. They love it. It's right next to a splash pad, so it's just like the perfect mix. So just wanted to share that real quick because that's something as we get warmer out here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so outside of that, thank you guys so much for tuning in to Cruising. Again, we're sorry this is a couple days late, but scheduling conflicts, we're never gonna miss it.
No.
It might be a couple days behind, but we'll never miss it. Any other thoughts, Mr. Mayor?
You were just mentioning about summertime and kids getting out of school. Hey, traffic sometimes slows down during this time, but our kids are out playing.
Yeah.
And so, we have a little bit less traffic. Sometimes our folks like to drive a little faster. Watch out for our young kids
Please,
enjoying our town on summer break. Please, please, please have a good summer. Enjoy your time in Somerville. Enjoy all the parks, the opportunities, the festivities, the farmers market. We'd love to see you out there.
Absolutely, absolutely. We've got so much going on. Stay tuned. Check out the calendar on our website, our Parks and Rec. We have a bunch of different things, Sounds on the Square, the farmers market, and we have a ton of other things going on this summer. So check it out. And it's also, it's not July yet. We'll talk more about it next month, but 250th celebration.
Yeah,
and our 4th of July. So just a little sneak peek there. That said, thank you guys so much, and until next month, see y'all.
See you.